If you saw Alex walking out of a local grocery store, carrying a generic brand of paper towels and heading toward a slightly dented 2012 Honda Civic, you wouldn't look twice. He wears plain gray t-shirts, works a standard 9-to-5 in mid-level marketing, and rents a modest 2-bedroom apartment. To his neighbors, his co-workers, and even his family, Alex is just another guy scraping by in an expensive world, trying to survive the grind. But they don't know his secret. When Alex logs into his brokerage account at night, the screen reflects a number that would make their jaws drop. $2.4 million. At just 30 years old, Alex is a silent millionaire, completely invisible to the world. If you want to discover how people like Alex build massive wealth without anyone knowing, hit that subscribe button right now, drop a like, and tell me in the comments the age you want to hit your first million. The truth is, society has conditioned us to believe that being rich looks like something specific. We are told wealth is a brand new matte black SUV, a flashy luxury watch, and VIP bottle service at a weekend club. But if you look closely at the people driving those $100,000 cars, you'll often find they are drowning in high-interest debt, living paycheck to paycheck just to keep up appearances. Alex realized this trap early in his 20s, watching his colleagues get trapped in the vicious cycle of lifestyle inflation. Every time they got a raise, they bought a bigger liability. Alex decided to play a completely different game, choosing freedom over fake status. His journey started at 22, fresh out of college with a starting salary of $55,000. While his peers immediately signed leases on luxury downtown apartments and financed brand new sports cars, Alex chose to live with 2 roommates. He kept his expenses incredibly low, saving almost 50% of his take-home pay. He didn't live like a monk, but he prioritized his future self. Instead of spending $500 a weekend on fancy dinners, he funneled that cash straight into broad market index funds, letting the boring, silent machine of the stock market do the heavy lifting. In the beginning, nothing seemed to happen, and the sacrifice felt heavy. During his first 2 years of intense saving, his portfolio barely budged, fluctuating between $20,000 and $30,000. His friends would tease him about his old car and his refusal to join them on expensive, credit card-funded trips to Europe. It is incredibly hard to play the quiet game when everyone around you is screaming for attention with leased luxury, but Alex understood the physics of money. He knew that compounding is a snowball rolling down a hill. At the top, it looks tiny and insignificant, but eventually, it becomes unstoppable. By the time he turned 26, the magic started to show. His portfolio hit the $100,000 mark. Thanks to a few promotions and a side hustle, he was investing even more aggressively. Suddenly, the market returns began to rival his actual savings. He was no longer just pushing the snowball. Gravity was taking over. In a good market week, his net worth would grow by more than he made in an entire month of hard work. Yet, looking at him, you would never know. He still drove the Civic, still bought his clothes on sale, and still packed his lunch for work. Keeping his wealth a secret became his superpower. He noticed that when people find out you have money, the dynamics change instantly. Friends start expecting you to pick up the tab, relatives reach out with desperate business ideas, and salespeople treat you like a target. By maintaining his ordinary, unassuming lifestyle, Alex protected his peace of mind. He bypassed the jealousy, the awkward favors, and the constant pressure to show off. He realized that the greatest luxury money can buy isn't expensive toys. It is the ability to walk through the world completely unnoticed, entirely on your own terms. Now at 30, his $2.4 million portfolio generates enough passive return to cover his living expenses 3 times over. He doesn't have to worry about layoffs, inflation, or emergency medical bills. If his boss yells at him tomorrow, he can quietly pack his desk and walk away without a shred of anxiety. That level of absolute freedom is something a flashy car can never provide. He still drives the dented Civic because it runs perfectly, and he still enjoys the simple things. He is wealthy in the only way that actually matters. He owns his time, his decisions, and his future. Becoming a silent millionaire isn't about extreme deprivation or hitting the lottery. It is about making a conscious choice to value financial independence over temporary validation from strangers. It is about understanding that true wealth is what you don't see. It is the assets quietly growing in the background while you live a peaceful, unburdened life. Anyone can look rich for a few years on borrowed money, but very few have the discipline to actually be rich in silence. The next time you see someone driving an old car, don't assume they are struggling. They might just be playing a much smarter game than everyone else. If you enjoyed Alex's story and want to learn more about building real wealth, hit the subscribe button and join thousands of people building financial freedom. Leave a like and tell me in the comments, at what age do you want to become a millionaire? See you in the next video.